time to PharmaState Academy and its session on your Sundays. Will not take long. We'll just wrap it up within the required time, but requesting you all to be focused on the discussions that are going to happen today on the topic of AI-based pharma marketing masterclass. Today, we are also going to show you a live demo of bots. So I hope you will enjoy, you will learn, and you will try to implement those also. Satish, give me a heads up if you are good to go.
Yeah, let's wait for 1 more minute, Swati. People are joining. Let them join and then we'll start. Sure. Till then, just to for your information, we are keeping you on mute for the time being. So whenever required, we'll unmute you. This is done just to keep the session very smooth. Yeah, so I think Dr. Swati, we can start now.
Thank you, Satish. Welcoming one and all to the session on Masterclass in AI-based pharma marketing. I'm Dr. Swati Sinha, host for you from PharmaState Academy. We have with us very important speakers from different backgrounds who will be speaking on this topic, since this is a topic which is talk of the town. There was a need that we felt, and hence we brought in Multiplier AI and collaborated with them to bring this session for you. Quickly, I'll take you through the introduction of our respected speakers for today. We have with us Mr. Siddharth Bagga, Head Healthcare and Retail CPG, Google Cloud. Siddharth leads the GTM motion for Google Cloud for retail, CPG, and healthcare organizations for India. He has worked in the healthcare space for over 12+ years across the US and India, and has helped various organizations implement their digital strategy, leveraging cloud, data, and artificial intelligence and machine learning. Welcome, Siddharth.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Swati. Pleasure to be here and looking forward to this session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Siddharth. Next, we have Mr. Sumeet Chandna. Most people know him. He is currently partner business consulting, pharma and health sciences at Ernst & Young. He was earlier heading digital transformation, commercial innovation, and strategic marketing at Cipla. He did his BTech in chemical engineering from IIT Delhi and PGDM in management from IIM Bangalore. Sumeet is a commercial and strategy leader, having 2 decades of experience in driving step growth in life science organizations, with high degree of passion and determination to renew, transform, build, and lead new age businesses grounds up. Welcome, Sumeet.
Thanks, Swati. Good morning to everyone. Look forward.
Thank you, Sumeet. And we have with us Vikram, founder and CEO at Multiplier AI. Vikram heads Multiplier AI, a global company with multiple products focused on AI and data-driven marketing for pharma. He is MBA from IIM Calcutta and BTech from IIT BHU, with prior experience delivering 100+ data-driven marketing projects for companies like Microsoft and Prudential Health. In India, Multiplier AI works with 18 large pharma brands. Welcome, Vikram.
Thanks, Dr. Swati. Look forward.
So now we will directly land to a question answer discussion session with all our 3 speakers, requesting everyone to focus on what they are saying, how they are predicting the shaping up of pharma for India and what has been done. Let me directly then put the first question to Siddharth. Siddharth, how do you see the adoption of AI progressing across industries? You are from Google, and hence I'm asking this question to you. You are seeing this across industries, and if you can also, throw light on AI adoption in healthcare and pharma specifically.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Swati, for the question. So I think it's a great question, right? I think the way AI is progressing today across industries is a seismic change that we're seeing. both outside of India as well as in India. We're seeing various applications of artificial intelligence and machine learning combining together to make lives easier of the end consumer, as well as helping us in our day-to-day lives, be it allowing you to now click on a button to opt for the most optimal route on Google Maps, which is all driven through AI, to you asking questions to a chatbot where you're actually getting answers in natural language, right? And we've obviously seen a huge surge in the way natural language is now playing a key role, especially with some of the newer applications that have been making rage in the market with what we call as large language models, right? So obviously AI machine learning, across Google, we see it as the future, right? We always say at Google that we are an AI driven company. All that we do, any product of ours that you use, be it Gmail, be it Google Maps, be it YouTube, everything has deep elements of AI and machine learning already built in, right? So that's the first part of the question. How is AI progressing in healthcare and pharma? So over the last 4 years, right, 4-5 years, obviously in more mature markets like the US, right, we've seen AI formidably change the kind of care delivery, right, that doctors do to patients. Number one. Number two, we've seen pharma innovators adopting AI in a very big way, right, to help them with innovation on the drug development side, right? So if you really see patient care, right, and then to get better medicines quicker and faster out into the market, right? You bring it back to India, and over the last 2 years, what we have seen, or last 3 years in India, we've seen this emergence of health tech that has taken over. Unfortunately or fortunately, due to COVID, everything got accelerated at a mega pace, right? Now it is possible for you to actually log into these healthcare applications, as we call it, right, or through your phone, right, where you may be looking at a digital health application where you can actually understand what symptoms you have, and through the symptoms the application is able to give you a diagnosis of what condition you may have and then connect you to doctors, right? What that has also done, right, is to make very sure that there is always the end diagnosis is always with the doctor, right? AI and machine learning in healthcare will always be used as a tool to help you do things better and improve productivity. It will never be a replacement of the end clinician, right? Or even in the case of pharma, it may help you to get your drugs out faster into the market. It may help you reach your doctors at a much wider reach because you can understand your buying behaviors of the doctors and so on and so forth. But it will never replace what the human is actually supposed to do in healthcare, right? So last 2 years, AI has really accelerated in healthcare and pharma in India. Across the customers that we work today in Google, we're seeing some fantastic applications that are coming up, right? There are organizations and healthcare companies today that are looking to build out clinical decision engines, which will basically help their doctors diagnose patients better, which also means that as you look at tier 2, tier 3 cities in India, where the doctor penetration is increasing, but the problem being of the quality of diagnosis, right? How does a clinical decision engine help a doctor in a tier 2 city is very important, because it essentially tells the doctor what are some of the possible outcomes that the patient can have based on the symptoms of the patient, right? And this is all done using AI on historical data that has been gathered over many years from tier 1 cities, helping now healthcare reach a much wider reach within India, right? And healthcare searches in India, just incidentally, so you know, right, have gone up by 54% over the last 30 months, right? So as an example, there were 9 billion searches on just on the word pharmacy closest to me or pharmacy nearest me, right? So the kind of search volumes that we are seeing for healthcare in India, right, is absolutely astronomical. And what we are seeing is companies that are leveraging the online offline model better, right? Be it a pharma company, because you have end doctors today that you want to reach out to, which is your offline. But how do you bring those doctors online, which is where things like GMB, etc., help you? Once your doctors are online, how do you take your first party data and then make it more scalable? Really, can help a pharma company make much wider reach to their doctors and increase their brand presence. So that's the overall, kind of synopsis that I would say of how AI has impacted other industries. I think other industries is known, we all see it in our daily lives, but specifically in healthcare over the last 2-3 years in India specifically, it's just been a continuous trajectory that I think is not going to stop at all, right? It's going to only increase.
Thank you. Thank you, Siddharth, for giving that picture for all of us to start with, that how the data captured is increasing, the data searched is increasing. And for India, it's now, you told around 9 billion, right? Siddharth? 9 billion searches for pharmacy near me. So that makes a real case for various industries to adopt AI. Thank you, Siddharth. Thank you for answering this question for us. Sumeet, you have been there, done that. You have been at Cipla taking care of digital transformation. So I would put this very directed question to you. What does an AI vision, artificial intelligence vision, mean to you for pharma sales and marketing? And for pharma sales and marketing, before that, I would say, why shall one have AI vision at all in pharma?
Sure. So, Swati, before I come to the sales and marketing question, I think just to pick on where Siddharth left, we have to recognize that the world around diagnosis and treatment is undergoing a fundamental change. So the traditional definition of what a pharma company is expected to do and not do is also up for question. Yeah. So simple thing like if digital diagnostics is improving the timeliness of point of care diagnostics and the choice of treatment regime, then a pharma company's role in being able to understand where their therapies have to be reaching at what time is critical. I'll give you an example. So, for example, US FDA has given an approval to Medtronic for a GI Genius product, which helps in detection of polyops during endoscopy. Now, that's for the US market, but as more and more FDA approvals come to India, and that is going to be the future, being able to position my treatment regime beyond the traditional pill, which I am used to, will be extremely important. Second, whether the portfolio of drugs that I am selling in a certain therapy, and if I am claiming as a pharma company to be owning a certain therapy, means that I should be on top of all the developments in that particular therapy, whether it's my current portfolio or not. For me to be able to assess leveraging real-world evidence of patients who are using my drugs in assessing whether with the same genotype in my country, let's recognize that clinical trials for really big drugs, even sold in India, are not done with the genotype of Indians. So there is a lot of data gaps which emerge when a global therapy is applied in a country. And the fact that today, when patients or caregivers are reporting vitals or improvements whenever they take a medicine, that can feed back into a PMS or a post-marketing service to understand whether this drug is working in this condition or not. Or does it mean that in a tropical country like India, with our genotype, the application is relevant only for patient profile A, B, and C, and not D, which was in other countries. So I think that level of medical integration with the drugs that we are selling is yet to happen. But these are elements which are around the sales and marketing setups, which are not really, not much attention is given in a classical sense. But let's recognize that a marketing manager's job is very tough in pharma. The covered markets are very crowded. There are just too many brands for chasing in the same market, so very limited differentiation. Secondly, I don't know my doctor enough. So in that setup, I am using a one-size-fits-all. The other problem is that I can't even know my doctor's preferences on an ongoing basis. Even if I was to segment the customer, the segmentation is very fluid. And that's also because the doctor's loyalties don't lie with any organization, they lie with the overall service conviction comfort that he gets. Last of them, I think the dependence or the constraint of a marketing plan that it has to be delivered through X number of reps for whom this brand is going to be at a certain pecking order of detailing in a construct where the doctor anyway is not giving time to a P1 brand. I think these are real constraints. And to solve them as an individual can become difficult when in a fast running car. But the beauty is that if you look at AI as a tool, an enabler which can deconstruct or synthesize unstructured information, which is all around us, then it can start helping us to do quite a number of few things. And I'll talk about some use cases. Clearly, for differentiated brands, there is a use case. For large brands, even if they're not differentiated, use case to go beyond the current reach. New launches, a huge opportunity to build 30 crore, 40 crore first year brands is there right now. Then digital brands. I mean, corporate brands are starting to get more prominence. Digital programs, assets are getting more prominence. And your ability to have a direct communication with the doctor, and whether the rep does a P1, P2, you can always have a D1, D2, which is directly to a doctor today. So expanding the focus brands purely in the digital domain are really new opportunities that AI is thrown to us. Yeah, and the most basic one is customer insighting, right? I mean, doctors, whether we segment them on potential, attitudes, engagement, expectations from the pharma company, it's a fairly complex segmentation to do. But if you look at it, large companies are sitting with a reasonably good amount of RCPA data. There are enough touch points that are there in the physical and digital world. But is there a system which is capturing these unstructured information and helping to cluster them and in a way identify common needs for that cohort of doctors? What is he searching online? What is he talking about in the last presentation that he did? Which case studies did he click on another platform? I mean, all of these are fairly useful insights which can help in shaping the brand in a long way. So I'll pause there, but there's just so much, and it's a nascent stage of the industry at present, and lots to learn from other industries actually.
Thank you, Sumit. So I'll take this sentence that you mentioned twice, synthesizing the unstructured data. That is where I think most of the companies are currently also focusing or trying to focus in using AI for pharma marketing. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sumit. And requesting every speaker, if for a question you have some additional points, please add into that. I'll keep asking the questions. Vikram, coming to specific now, very specific. So Siddharth talked about in how it is progressing across industries. Sumit gave a vision that this is where the vision should lie for a pharma company. For you, Vikram, I would ask this question. How does AI applications and specifically bots, that was in our topic of discussion also, help the pharma marketeers? How these applications are going to help? Over to you, Vikram.
Yeah, so I think with two rockstar speakers, it's tough to add, but I'll talk largely about two things. Okay. What is AI and what's the goal of pharma marketing? And second is how those goals can be met with application of AI. So AI is about, you can think of it as an assisting technology, right? Each of the people, Sumit mentioned, everybody is working extremely hard. All marketers are stretched. Medical reps are working 12 plus hours a day. Okay. So AI is about getting those assistants in a very, very, very simplified manner. The goal of marketing is how do you increase reach, frequency, sales? How do you wow the physician? How do you get better outcome for patients? Now, if a medical rep is already putting in 12 hours a day reaching, let's say 200 physicians. Do you want him to work? Will giving an assistant to the person help? Yes. Now, do you have the budgets to give a manual human assistant? No. Per visit cost itself is about 3,000 to 4,000, depending on how you calculate it. So think of AI as a tech where you can assist each person within the entire marketing chain. What means is you can give, you can help increase the reach by giving an assistant either centrally or to the medical rep, so that from 200, they can do a multi-channel, omni-channel reach outs to be able to cover that 250, 300. We'll demo a virtual medical rep later. We'll talk about that. So that's one. Second goal of pharma marketing is how do I market, how do I influence the physician, okay, or educate the physician. Now, can you influence without knowing more about the doctor? Can you expect a medical rep who's busy, who may not be with the same training as in the central team, to be able to perform as well, which means research about the doctor, know on YouTube what is the video that this doctor is there, know within the doctor what updates have happened. So that's tough to expect with a large field force. So AI, think of it within this space to assist in centralized marketing. It's about how do you create a doctor data platform where you clean up your internal data, you leverage new data coming in, and you kind of help the medical rep personalize. Why is AI needed? Coming back to that point. Now, if you have to clean up data, merging to Excel sheets is a pain. If you have to merge what is created by a lot of medical reps over a lot of period of time, is more complex. And if you have to update it regularly every month, humanly not possible. You have to have a 20, 30 people team there. Can AI assist in that? Yes. The problems that it can solve, deduplication of doctor. वो doctor Vandana, whatever. Okay, आपके database में you have Dr. Vandana. Okay, so Dr. Vandana has changed name after marriage, has upgraded her specialty and has moved locations. Now, manually, it will take 45 minutes to 1 hour to collate just these 5-6 fields correctly. Will an AI assistant be able to get all of this? Yes, we'll demo that also. How a deep profiler will help know more about the physician. Medical rep is doing their 10th meeting with the physician, same physician. With the before the meeting, can you increase the effectiveness of meeting by giving that nudge, which is sourced from multiple sources, to tell what would the doctor be interested in today? It's about right message at the right time to the right physician, right? AI does that. Okay, so that's the second application about AI-based deep profiler. Among the challenges COVID had happened was there was a reduction in the number of patients coming to the hospitals and faster, right? So in digital, one of the top things that doctors want to do is they don't want to sit idle, right? They want to reach more patients. There are 9 billion searches Siddharth mentioned happening. 9 billion is multiple of the population of India. Okay. So is there manually, is it possible that you can find out who's going to which search in this area is for a cancer patient, which could potentially be a stage 1 symptom and needs to be screened? Manually, it's not possible. So you need an assistant, which can be an AI bot that is leveraging all the data that Google and other platforms are providing about how patient journeys are happening and influencing them. So that's the third, which is an AI SEO bot. We'll demo that. Okay. So largely this is there. Okay. You can have multiple bots, which is kind of assistant for everybody in the marketing chain, including the central team, and they will increase the effectiveness easily by 50 to 100%.
Thanks, Vikram. Thanks for elaborating this for us. So after hearing you, it looks like from AI, we change it to AAI, Assistant Artificial Intelligence. It is going to assist you in everything that you do with internally, with internal stakeholders as well as external stakeholders. Thank you so much. In between, I'll take up few questions because the time is limited and demos will be there, but Siddharth and Sumeet may have to leave after an hour. So I'll take a few questions in between, Vikram, if you allow. There are questions, what is future of medical representative in AI? I think Vikram answered it, that it is going to be an assistance, not replacing medical reps as such. Anything to add to the panel? Anything you want to add to this question? What is the future of medical rep in AI?
So I can just quickly add, think of it in the 2000s, there were most of people who were driving auto rickshaws, right? The people who wanted jobs in the driving sector. Uske baad cars came in. Okay. Now, do you continue to drive an auto rickshaw or do you learn the skill and upgrade to a car? So there is an assistive technology that will help you perform 50% better. If you are today driving an Ola, Uber, etc., you are going to have the opportunity, a safer job. If you are still sticking to the auto rickshaw, then those jobs will go.
Okay, thanks, Vikram, for clearly stating.
Sorry, I was on mute by mistake.
No, Vikram, we heard you.
Sorry, I'll just come in here.
Yes.
So two other shifts. One that I think if we want auto rickshaw drivers to start using some technology, I think if you take the example of a cab driver, just taking an analogy further, moving into becoming an Ola driver, there was certain lead generation that has started to be used using technology. So for his number of rides in a day, the lead gen services coming from a technology source became an additional way to earn income or make ends meet. Look at the medical rep. I mean, he sits with a finite list of doctors and struggles to convert even 20% of them. And once a quarter, once in 6 months, refreshes the list. When there is a more fluid exchange of information, the possibility of using lead generation of which type of doctor to go next for a call is a possible future question which technology can answer. It means that the rep can work with flexible lists, doesn't have to sit with a rigid list on an ongoing basis. It also means that the rep can use multiple channels to communicate with doctors. We saw COVID pushing reps to use remote detailing, did not work very well. But if you look at it, having a more intelligent support system with the rep will definitely sharpen and tailor the support that he needs. The role of medical liaison officers, in an organization, which so far is restrictive and cost prohibitive to have, using the AI assistant technology, you can have more medically tuned support structure which reps need to respond back to doctors. And then service requests. I mean, there is so much that a rep does which need not be done by the rep because it is fairly automated, algorithm driven, tree driven, that it can be done by a system which has learned over time. So a lot of tasks can get delegated to a system, and actually the rep can focus more on the relationship part, the conversion part of the funnel, which typically gets missed out because many basics is what he's running from pillar to pillar.
Thank you, Vikram and Sumeet, for elaborating this answer for us. And one question to Siddharth and Sumeet, both of you, because you have been there at organizations who are typically going ahead with AI. So a question from Mr. Amit Chaman is there, how to assess that an organization is AI ready? Any checklist? Means what are those parameters on which an organization says, okay, I'm AI ready? Also, any thought on labeling the levels of AI preparedness?
Okay, I'll just take a stab at that, and maybe so that you can just follow, right? Am I audible?
Yes, Siddharth.
Right. Okay, there is no at least my personal opinion, right? And from what we've seen across a number of our customers who we work with in the pharma space, right? First of all, I think there has to be an acknowledgement that pharma is way behind, okay, the other industries when it comes to AI, right? And it starts with, and always remember, right? AI and machine learning is a subset of your data, right? If you feed in garbage, you will get garbage out, right? So you have to make sure that, first your data is being captured correctly, right? In pharma, there are organized data sets available, right? There is your sales and marketing data, which is highly organized, right? There is your recipe data, which is highly organized, right? And there are other data sources that you will have that are very organized data sets. It's about bringing all of that data together and then using it. Is there a checklist, right? I wouldn't say there's a checklist, but AI as an initiative has to go beyond experiments, which means that you need to have an organizational mindset, maybe driven from the top, to say that data will is a currency that you can use to really drive growth, right? That's the main thing. So if you ask me, there has to be organizational support for you to take AI projects from basic experiments, right, to the next level. Number one. Number two, you need to have a strong data team, right? A data and AI team is very essential within your organization to help you work with partners, right? To help you work with organizations like Multiplier AI, like E&Y of the likes, right? Because unless you don't have a strong data and AI team within your organization, right, your chances of success are very limited, right? Uh, Having said that, right, what is the best way to start, right? The best way to start is to identify some of your top use cases in which you have good data and see how AI can help you solve that, right? Once you're able to solve a use case and drive whatever change you're looking at, right? If it is productivity, if it is reach, if it is helping your doctors understand patients better, or you understanding your doctor buying profiles better, right? Once you're able to show success with that, then you can go within the organization and kind of expand on more use cases, right? But it's very essential to go ahead and identify those first one or two problems that the company is facing and then see if AI can solve it, right? AI probably can't solve everything that you're going through, right? But there is a good chance that there will be a solution that companies can come together and partners can come together and help you solve, right? There's enough tech available today, right? From companies like Google Cloud, right? As an example, you have enough technology available today to help you succeed in AI, right? The idea of companies like Google is to make AI accessible to everybody, right? So if you're an enterprise and today you're saying that, hey, I want to
Mr. Siddharth's screen is frozen. Okay. Sumeet, can you take over?
Yeah, sure. I think I'll just build on what Siddharth was saying. So if you look at the use cases, it need not be really rocket sciences. I think there's very basic stuff still waiting to be solved for. So secondary sales, for example, I mean, all companies live with secondary sales. We've been calling it reliable for quite some time. I think with time, secondary sales tracking has become more and more reliable. But what kind of intelligence we are drawing out of that itself is a problem to be solved. So given the company's profile, the company's strength areas, I mean, some companies are really good at distributor management. Some companies are really good at some therapies of doctors, not all. Some companies have great retailer loyalty work that is happening on the ground. Depending on your strength areas, there will still be parts to be fixed. Within that, pick up an area of strength and make it more seamless. I think that use case as a basis of stepping into the AI world is more productive. You'll get higher chances of success. But I think today there is still too much, I would say, reliance on the relationship value that the traditional model has. I think it's time to look at the traditional model and digital augmentation as the new commercial model, rather than looking at the old versus the new. It's the old and the new. So how this combination can work together, I think it requires the ability to experiment a lot. I would use the word experiment still, because I think companies have not gone beyond that, but at least have a wherewithal and the investment kitty to experiment a lot and then scale up those which are passing the hurdle of proof of concept. But once you've passed the hurdle of proof of concept, invest heavily behind it. I think infrastructure investment in giving shape to a program is really not being done to that extent. And that's where this whole garbage in problem is still existing. We are not investing in improving quality of the raw data to begin with. Let's say even doctor profiling. How many pharma companies can claim that they know at least 3 data points of their doctors to a reasonable degree of confidence? Not many. So there is a need. I think I completely agree with Siddharth to pick up a use case, even if it's a small therapy where data quality is reasonable, get into it, have a proof of concept, and then invest in the infrastructure to scale it up. I think that's not happening.
Exactly. See, it's very important to go from desktop, from a laptop use case to take it to scale to show success, right? Otherwise, your management will never buy into it, right? And then the project will fall there, right? And which is where you can work with partners like Multiplier and others, right, that have solved these problems using AI. So it's an easy plug and play, right, where you don't have to start building out from scratch. That's the whole idea.
I think you should also stay away from the shiny toy phenomena. I remember a case where a chatbot was launched actually with doctors. It completely bombed because doctors didn't have the behavior support to even look at a chatbot. While they loved it, and if you went there and took feedback, they would say, "Oh, we loved the chatbot," but it doesn't even occur to me to go there and look for it. So I think some of those initiatives that I came across, I realized that they were so fancy sounding because the investment was done because it sounded so fancy and to give an update. But the reality is that there are very basic problems still not solved, and we need to direct our efforts towards them rather than look for those fancy use cases. It has to be real. It has to be touching your top line or bottom line. And the other thing is there's a security cover required to be given to fail in these. And fail in the sense that, okay, I shouldn't use the word fail. I think even I remember, whenever sales leaders are asked to sign up as a co-sponsor for some programs, the first question is that, okay, if this POC succeeds, will I get rep approvals if I have to expand tomorrow? If the answer is going to be no because digital program is succeeding, then how do you expect me to provide support to it? So, I mean, we have to solve for it at a more strategic level. I think the leadership's vision and the ability to create a digital organization, which can support holistically to this new commercial model vision of rep plus digital, I think it's very important.
Yeah. Thank you, Sumeet and Siddharth, for elaborating on this question. It actually answered a lot of questions which we are getting. So after opened up with a question answer, we are getting almost hundreds of questions, and there's a dearth of time. So I would request Vikram to help us develop an AI bot, which helps us answer the question. So moving over to the next questions, I'd request Siddharth and Sumeet to be a bit brief as we are around more than half time. Siddharth, next question to you. Please help us get an insight into omni-channel approach for doctors and patients. I think you have partly covered it before also, but if you can elaborate, and how search results are becoming more important for designing a strategy for pharma providers.
Okay, the two questions, right? I'll talk about omni-channel, right, and why omni-channel is important in healthcare and pharma. If you look at traditional retail, right, with the emergence of digital over the last 10 years, right, with the acceleration we have seen, omni-channel has become the most critical aspect that all retailers and CPG companies are talking about today. Why? because the likelihood of somebody purchasing a product who is omni-channel is 9x, 9 times more than somebody who's buying offline, and 4 times more than somebody who's just buying online, right? So this entire process of bridging digital and offline together and creating a seamless ecosystem for movement for the end consumer to happen from either ways becomes very important. That's the first point. Why should pharma companies look at omnichannel? Because your doctors are your end customers. Your doctors today are your physical, clinics, etc. they run. But these doctors also have a strong digital presence, right? Because of their digital presence, right? Strong or even basic, they may have one basic GMB listing, right? Or you can help them create GMB listings as an example, right? So they have some digital presence. Because of that, you have two sets of data available with you. You have first party data, which is your data that pharma companies have about doctors, right? Name, email address, etc., 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 right? Second is you have various third party data sets that are available for you from Google, right? Which could either be trends data or search data. You can then segment that data into, by location, by geography, by etc., right? You can now take your first party data, bring in third party data sets. You can bring in intents that we are seeing on the web, and all of this data is available to you through various Google tools, right? There's Google Marketing Platform, there's GA360, etc., right? And you can actually go and look up some of these tools that exist. But once you're able to bring this data together, you create something known as a customer data platform, right? Which essentially gives you a sense of what is your customer really looking to do, and in your case, doctors, right? How can you then do segmentation of your doctors and targeting of your doctors is where the omni-channel journey starts from, right? And in that omni-channel journey, how are you making sure that your physical reps, right, as well as the digital ads that you're spending on, right, how are they coming together, right? How does and how do you measure that, right? It becomes very, very important, right? Now, how to build an omni-channel journey, etc., is something that is out of the scope of the time that we have today, because it's a very, very nuanced topic that we have experts driving this within Google. We're helping very large organizations drive this, not in the pharma world as yet, but we are already doing it in the healthcare world, right? And it's happening very successfully in the healthcare world, right? So we're seeing it catching on. Having said that, over the last 6 months, I have had 4 of the largest pharma companies in the country come and talk to me about how we can help them on their omni-channel strategy. How can we help them build platforms, digital platforms that can help them reach their doctors through a much wider audience, right? And how can they take that data and the data that they're getting on the ground, bring it all together so that a doctor, influencing a doctor at either a digital or a physical infrastructure becomes much easier and becomes cohesive and becomes one, so that your doctor, and then you're able to understand what the doctor is doing through that persona of the doctor that you've built, which is the 360-degree persona of the doctor. So that's on omnichannel. I think I answered how search and other sorts of I wouldn't say search, I would say third-party data. Bringing third-party data and harmonizing it with your first-party data is where you really drive the insight of what the doctor is trying to do.
Thank you. Thank you, Siddharth. Yes, you already elaborated on the search results and all. Sumeet, next question to you, but I think you have already covered. If anything you want to add to this, what has been achieved so far in digital for pharma, and why it has been achieved or why not? If you think it has not been achieved.
So I think, Swati, what has been achieved in pharma so far is that there is growing recognition, growing FOMO that something has to be done. I think from those shiny toy days, at least on the digital infrastructure, there is effort and investment going in, at least in large pharma companies. So there is recognition that it has to be fixed. How to use it in specific ROI terms, of course, has not been defined. Whether there are more customer touch points than before, of course, yes. I think the leveraging digital for more touch points has happened. But how those touch points will translate into a customer journey, where there is something to close the loop. I think those are areas where these are still early days for the industry. So there's a cultural shift. I think you'll see more and more marketing people at the top, people who are sensitive to brand building, because eventually the enabler that AI is helping you build brands, whether it's corporate brands, digital brands, or your product brands. So that shift is happening. Still very early days. I think it's far behind other industries, but there is recognition. I think as EY, we have a design agency called 𝘀𝗻𝗄𝗋. So we have a full-fledged in-house customer research and customer experience team, which does this work for our integrated delivery. And what we found is that both beyond doctor, there is a lot that still needs to be done, and we are seeing green shoots of that. So beyond what Siddharth is talking about, the doctor omni-channel side, there is a need for patients who want to own their health, to learn a lot more about their condition, especially for chronic and subchronic conditions. There is a lot that can be done on the patient side as well now, with complete regard to the regulations of the industry. I think an unaware citizen today wants to hold health, in his control, and there is a role that pharma companies can play.
Yeah. If I can just elaborate on that, Swati. So at Google, right, one of the biggest things that we do as a company is to fight misinformation, right? So for us, that is very critical. So we work in partnership with pharma and healthcare companies, some of the majors, to build what we call as authoritative content on healthcare, right? So if you go today and search for a health condition, and if that health condition has been tagged between our partner and us as a health condition that is prevalent in India, etc., we will actually show you authoritative content sponsored by either the likes of Apollo or Dr. Reddy's or Manipal or someone like that, who we've tied up with, and you will see that surfacing on the right hand side. Right now, as a marketer, right, as a brand marketer, why that makes sense is because it is top of the funnel marketing for you, right? Without you having to spend dollars on Google ads, you are building these tie-ups with Google, where people are landing on a surface today, which is search, which is the most popular surface in the world, where your brand name is coming up, right? And you then serve as an authoritative content on that health condition. That's the first part, right? The second part is, in when you look at building out this authoritative content, right? It also helps you understand within your organization, right, what is the next thing that they're looking to push, right? And how can you help them get to that journey faster? But these are again select partnerships that we do, right, with pharma companies. But it's really important, right? And even on that side, on the side of YouTube, we have a specific business called YouTube Health, right, which runs within a sub-vertical in YouTube, which helps us build authoritative contents with our partners, so that when a user is coming and searching on a health condition, it actually surfaces as a YouTube Health shelf, saying that the content is sponsored by X company. So pharma companies play a very critical role today in helping the end patient understand their condition better. And that really lends a lot of confidence in the end patient to the pharma company.
Thank you. Thank you, Siddharth, for touching this point, that the trust issues have to be answered. And I think that's a step towards it. Thank you, Sumeet, for elaborating on the same. And as we'll take up all the questions, and thank you all for putting a lot of questions to the panelists here. Most of the questions will be covered. A live demo is scheduled. Almost you will see the magic of AI happening live today. So I'll request you all to stick to the session, and let's move on answering few more questions, and then to the demo. Vikram, over to you. This question is time and again coming up in one form or the other. AI affecting the current job and skill scenario? Please be be brief, because we already have touched it, but still let us know if you have any more thoughts on current job and skill scenario regarding AI.
Yeah, so the job market works as you grow more senior in a double or nothing manner. Okay, which means if you're looking for a marketing head, if pharma is looking for, and somebody did not do digital over the 5 to 10 years, it is unlikely that the person will be qualified to get that XCR, whatever salary, right? So there is no option. AI upgrade is essential. What is holding back is the first step. It's like maths or English. If you don't find an expert and get somebody to train you, just a driving ka example, it won't happen. Second is false myths, which is like tier 2 doctors are not there. Okay, are not online. 9 billion patient searches hai, so there are searches happening from every part of India, not just the Delhi Bangalore part of it. Cost a lot. Okay, AI SEO bot effectively is like $10 per month per doctor. I mean, gets 100 patients. Okay, or learning it is something. I think we have to do the mindset change. So I think in the end of it, we have a demo in which we will be developing a full brand plan using ChatGPT without you spending any money. 0 rupees brand plan made for your brand in 2 minutes. Okay. Wow. So how would you not want to use a free assistant to perform better and upgrade in the job market?
Thank you, Vikram. And just quickly, I will merge 2 questions for both Sumit and Siddharth to answer. The question is around ROI of AI projects and also how technologies keep changing, and the ChatGPT thing that has taken internet by storm. Every third person is asking something to ChatGPT. I think ChatGPT also getting confused, but how to use ChatGPT, what is happening in ChatGPT, and also please throw light on the ROI aspect of these projects. Sumit, over to you first. Siddharth, request you to pitch in also.
Yeah. So I think ROI is a real question here for the industry. And whenever infrastructure is being built, the question on ROI has come in. I think the natural response has been, let's do it outside the organization on a variabilized model. And if we see green shoots, point of proof of concepts, then we will insource it. At that time, we will have a stronger definition of return on investment. But I think it's important to, and where we fail, is to define success metrics at each stage of this investment. Nobody's talking about going from 0 to 100. I think going from 0 to 10 and 15 means that you cannot put a ROI metric which is quantified in money terms, but it needs to be enough to get critical mass such that it justifies investment. So just to give you an example, if you have to clean up the doctor profile data that you're sitting, the first level of data that is available, now cleaning data is going to cost money, right? But without a clean data, anyway, you can't do any further investments. So if the question becomes that even to clean that data, I need an ROI, I think the struggle will be to justify it after a point, because you are just doing the hygiene right now. And to that extent, I think it requires companies to look at their sales and marketing budgets in a certain way that they can carve out a portion and keep the critical investments which are required without justification of a money dollar value coming in a short duration. But clean up the act, it's a one-time cost, needs you to sit with richer data to begin with, and to solve for the process that the future data also doesn't go the same way. I think that those are critical hygiene infra investments which companies need to do. And you can start small, but yes, the initial investments will struggle for a money dollar value. However, the success metrics need to be very clearly defined. And once that is defined, it's much easier to go from phase A to phase B.
Thanks, Sumit. Siddharth?
Okay, on your question on ROI, right? I think Sumit covered I think 90% of what I would have said, right? I think overall, if you look at it, there is definite ROI. If it's successful, it's to the tune of ROI you would not have seen, especially in a traditional business like pharma, right? So it solves very, very large, complex problems if need be, or some very simple tasks also get solved at scale, right? So, but it's important to know that every project you take up is not a success, right? And you have to have an innovation mindset when you look at AI. That is very critical. Different companies do AI differently. At Google, we believe you fail fast, right, and you then pivot, right? So that's how Google does AI. That's how Google innovates. It's actually quite fantastic journey when you look at how we do innovation through AI, right? But it's important to know that everything will not succeed. You will have more failures than success, but that one success you will have can be really astronomical, right? With respect to things like ChatGPT, etc., right? I mean, look, large language models. So, sorry, I think is there some video lag at my end, or?
We are receiving it at perfectly fine, Siddharth. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So, if you look at ChatGPT or any of these are called large language models, right? Till a few years back, everyone was talking about NLP, which is natural language processing, right? Then at Google specifically, we have something called healthcare NLP that is available out of the box, and a lot of our healthcare and pharma companies use it. And now the next version is large language models. Large language models are here to stay, right? It's not going to go anywhere. It's in fact going to get only better. Last year at Google I/O, what we call I/O, we announced our own large language model called Lambda, right? Which you will, we don't know when the dates are, but eventually it will launch, right? It's running in beta right now with some of our customers, etc. This is all like public knowledge that I'm telling you, right? Which is available. So clearly, all companies are investing in large language models. They'll only get better. They will only get more refined. There is enough historical data available today to train these large language models, right? And it's here to stay. I don't think it's a fad. I don't think it's something that will fizzle out. This will just grow and grow stronger.
Thanks, Siddharth. Sumit, have you experienced ChatGPT?
I have experienced ChatGPT. I'm quite amazed by the kind of responses it has given. But I'll let Vikram do the honors. I'm sure there is something that he wants to show.
Yes. So Vikram, over to you to take us through the demos that you have in your kitty. This is going to be amazing, dear participants.
Yeah. Okay. So here the intention is, as an audience, a lot of us who have not tried AI should go to the next level. The challenge in AI is always the mindset कि हाँ ये मेरे लिए नहीं useful है. It works everywhere in the world and others, and that's where people like Siddharth who have worked in US in retail and Sumit who have worked extensively come in. So there are 5 demos depending on the time. We'll structure them out, but I'll tell you the demos and then we'll do the demos. Okay. First is AI Avatar medical rep. This is a two-way conversation. Doctor asks questions and voice is interpreted and responded to. Okay. Very simple infrastructure costs can be applied in reaching the audience of physicians that you don't reach, or in 24/7 response to clinicians. AI digital marketer, which is the entire SEO activity Siddharth mentioned, GMB, that is Google My Business. That's the #1 search result that comes up on top on Google of these 9 billion searches that are happening in India on healthcare. So if that's the tool where you can use to drive 100 extra patients at $10 per doctor per month. Using ChatGPT to generate a brand plan AI Doctor Profiler, and AI-based patient support program, which is a voice-based. How do you run it on a Google Assistant or Alexa or whatever? So we'll start with the AI Avatar medical rep. My request is everybody would need to be on mute, and I'll share screen.
Please share voice, Vikram. It's not coming.
Updates about the brand 𝘁𝗫𝗻 or 𝘁𝗁𝗲.
I was on headphone.
2.
So
Any suggestions you have for us?
let me just start it again.
Share the screen.
Get that.
Is
Can you
screen
say
share
it
there?
again?
No, not yet, Vikram.
No.
Please share
But
screen.
share the screen and then play, please. Yeah.
Yes.
Let me start.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Let me.
Can you rephrase? Hello, Dr. Vivek. I'm a 24/7 available assistant for you from Multiplier Pharma. Would you like to know more about 1. Updates about the brand 𝘁𝗫𝗻 or 𝘁𝗁𝗲. 2. Any suggestions you have for us?
Please provide updates about the brand 𝘁𝗫𝗻.
Recently, our most famous brand 𝘁𝗫𝗻 got approval for a new indication. Now 𝘁𝗫𝗻 can also be used for the treatment of diabetic patients. We are offering special starter packs for patients for a limited time. For any query, please text me on my WhatsApp number 9900990099. USPs of our product includes German technology in manufacturing and highest shelf life.
Do you have any scientific material to support your arguments?
Yes. I have scientific reports for the same. I will share the same on your WhatsApp and email.
What is the cost of your product per strip?
Our product 𝘁𝗫𝗻 is affordable to patients and cheaper as compared to other products in the market. It costs only 80 rupees per strip of 10 tablets.
Is this product available at a nearby chemist?
Yes, this product is available at Multiplier Medical Store.
Yeah, thanks for the information. I will definitely prescribe your product for diabetic patients.
Thank you, doctor. Looking forward to your valuable prescription.
And yes. Yeah, this was the first demo. Okay.
Right, Vikram, just a second. I'll take a second to thank Mr. Siddharth Bagga. Siddharth, I know we have to leave and it's almost now time, but just a question. It was coming from Mr. Salil about Google saying in 2024 it will promote a cookieless world. How does this affect the availability of non-native data? And if it does, would pharma be better served by creating own digital assets to create and use native data?
Honestly, I'm not qualified to answer that question, so I will not attempt to answer it. I don't want to mislead anybody on a large forum, right? So I will not answer that. But should you create your So I think one thing I would definitely say that your ability to leverage your first party data should become much higher. We have seen, we know Okay, 90% of our customers, and this is proven data, right? 90% of our customers say that yes, we understand the need for first party data. 30% capture it, 1% implement it. All right. So, but the 1% who implement it see 10x growth. So yes, you should look to create your own digital assets, etc. But capture that first party data and then use it to actually activate your marketing. Rather than a spray and pray approach, do it in a targeted way. The questions of cookies, etc. Right? I would not be the best person to answer that, Swati.
Thank you, Siddharth, for giving that answer. Create your own digital assets, and really thankful to Siddharth and Sumeet for being here and enlightening the audience. And now, Vikram, if you want to thank, please thank them, and then we move ahead to the demos.
Yeah, thanks. I think Siddharth brings both a US and a retail CPG, which are both early adopting markets perspective. So thanks for your time, and thanks to Sumit. I think.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Vikram and Swati, for having us. Thank you, everyone, for staying and listening to us. Hopefully, we've been able to nudge you towards adopting technology in the traditional pharma business to actually drive positive outcomes. And all the best. And thank you once again. Thank you.
Thanks for that.
Bye bye.
And Vikram, from one fabulous demo to the next demo, please show us what this is going to.
Yeah, we are trying to put more time on the ChatGPT. The next one is really Siddharth talked about GMB and how that's impacts, and this is about how a bot does what a digital marketer would do in a month within minutes. And the bot is basically you can I'll share it. How it is applied is doctors' number one challenge is how do they see more patients, or how do they be accessible and treat patients earlier. So more than changing their operations and other things. So this is one thing that we are seeing the earliest adoption across pretty much all top brands. How do you convert 20,000 non-prescribers to prescribers? This is probably only, it cannot be implemented manually. So I'll just give the demo and then we'll discuss it. Yeah, please.
Share screen. Okay.
Yeah, I've shared screen. Just let me know when it's visible.
Yes.
What is the screen saying?
Still loading, Vikram.
Okay. Let me stop share and reshare it. Is it visible?
Still loading, Vikram, I think.
Okay. I have another parallel one. Let me use that.
Yeah.
When most important things happen, sessions are there, tabhi demo.
But we need to have patience to see the changes that these things can do and support the pharma sales and marketing departments in their work. So please be patient and stay with us.
Yeah, can you give screen sharing to my other?
Satish, there is another account of Vikram which needs to be. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
now it is there. Yes.
There's no voice, Vikram.
You are not audible.
Not
Vikram.
audible, Vikram. You are on mute.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Please
So,
start. Please
yeah, I'll
start.
start it again.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is about getting 100 extra new patient calls at less than 1/3 the cost of a medical rep visit. How do you take 10,000 non-prescribers and convert them? It took a doctor, the last column is important, how many new patient phone calls a doctor was getting. It took them from less than 9 to 144 patient calls a month. 144 is like pharma company makes close to 50,000 plus of revenue per month for a one-time visit. And for a doctor, that is impacting for the doctor's clinic close to 4 to 5 lakhs of revenue. So this is checking the location. The bot is, we have slowed it down so that it's visible, but what it does is it goes to every site, checks what a SEO manually would be done. It is checking the ranking of where the doctor is for each keyword. So if it is, let's say, it is finding which are the neighboring localities, who are the competitors coming up, taking that screenshot, interpreting it, converting it into data. It identifies who are the top competitors of the doctor in their area and in nearby localities. What would take days and weeks for a manual digital marketer is done in minutes. Okay. Then yeah, it's copying the name, designation, location, all of that, so that the doctor can kind of see that in a report also, and they can optimize it also.
So Vikram, this is all happening automatic.
This is automatic, and it works across channels. You want the doctor to be top in Just Dial, you want the doctor to be top in Google and health grades in US, fully automatic. So you can do 50,000 doctors optimization. Okay. At the cost batches 1,000 the cost what a program would. It is taking that intelligence. It found out what is the keywords that are working more and where should I be. It is automatically going in, and whether it is your website or Google My Business. Google My Business is where doctors searches land. Okay. Or it can be any other platform worldwide. It enters those keywords automatically. If there is a content needed, it reaches across, and I'll show that in a separate one in ChatGPT or in others. It calls for that content, pulls it, generates it, and picks it. So
this is amazing. Actually, it seems like someone is sitting and doing it, but it is actually happening everything automatically.
Everything run for one of the top pharma companies for 5,000 plus doctors. The revenue we are delivering for one of the largest hospital chains. The last year what we delivered was 100 CR. The target for this year is 300 CR. There is nobody that compares in the Asian markets at least. So most companies are now thinking, instead of reaching to 1/10 of the specialty, let me pick all my non-prescribers, and we have tried out multiple ways. Let me help them grow. Second is for let me improve patient access. Why get a cancer patient detected in stage 3? Why not you be available for all the keywords? The competition is changed by level of 100. It's not about optimizing for 1 or 2 keywords and being happy in it. And PharmaState comes up for a lot of keywords in health pharma. So
thanks, Vikram. This is but fabulous. Yeah, it's all automated.
Yeah,
So
it's all automated.
One question is that if it is happening in 5 minutes, you have shown this demo. Actually, how much time it takes? Like you have shown it for you have slowed down the speed. So what actually it happens in how many minutes or seconds it happens?
Yeah, this is minutes or seconds. It is done every 2 weeks. For that doctor, it does it. How it is used is it can send a report of the change in doctors' calls, visits, rankings with screenshots, which a medical rep can show, or which goes from a centralized marketing team. If you're talking of hyper personalized report, this report has a close to 100% open rate for doctors. So you can use it as a vehicle to attach anything, or when the medical rep wants to extend really that time with the doctor, okay, that's something that they can do easily. Okay. So that's the first one. I think Dr. Satish will share a feedback form, and for people who fill that feedback form, we will give an option and offers for getting the demos. Okay. Now I'm going to the next demo.
Okay, so it is basically helping the like doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, increasing his footfalls for the patients in his OPD or IPD, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The next demo is about.
So there are two demos. I'll just one is a phone-based one, so which is a patient support program, and one is about what Siddharth and others talked about, which is how do you kind of quickly get the latest information about the medical rep, about the doctor to the medical rep. Okay. So just. So I'll just run the profiler one, and then I have to activate Alexa or Google Assistant, and then I'll run it in that phone. Only thing is I'll have to show the phone this way. Okay. So let me know when or let me.
Yes, screen has started. Yeah.
Yeah. So now again, my intention is to change the mindset. The cleaning of data and others is not a toy. There are 2-3 urgent things that require you to clean the data. One is government has changed the rule for PAN numbers, right? So associated with any activity, pharma companies have to report the PAN number of the clinician. Now imagine a mistake in which you are either multiply reported the PAN number between divisions or between brands, and that shows up in the doctor's tax returns, okay, or vice versa. So doctor cleanup of data and centralizing it is not an can be a toy in a lot of things, but there are very strong use cases to use it today. So it's about giving your medical rep the latest news on the phone. It pulls out from about worldwide 200 plus sites in India, gives information on that about the doctor. So let me just pause this here to explain this. Okay. So for a medical rep, think about a large field force, each of whom is time constrained and is not as digitally savvy. So would you want them to kind of be getting that exact nudge that the doctor you're supposed to meet, okay, has done a webinar with your competing, has a webinar scheduled with their competitor, has added these doctor friends to their circle, is about to speak in a CME, or wants to meet, or is looking for patients, as I set up a new clinic or any other thing. Okay. So this is where the scale at which this is applied is pan-India cleanup. Okay. Then correction of messages going duplication and identifying the top influencers. The most effective marketing in pharma is with physicians validating and educating others. So if you are looking at for one of the brands, they wanted within 31 cities, and for these therapy areas, you give me the top influencers on scientific platforms. Okay. So that's something that the bot is able to pull out. It can also give the a 10-page detailed report, which serves as a training for the medical rep. We have kept each demo to 2.5 minutes because we want to focus on the transformation. 70+ fields about the doctor, everything from what they are speaking. It's like a mini Google for doctor. You enter the name, the specialty, the location. Okay, it will fetch the details. And that the tech core is about tech is same. We have multiple servers running from multiple locations, which pull out data from login and non-login based sites to cover the full digital footprint about the clinicians and centralize it. And the pharma company has a choice on how they want to, which they want to. It maps the influence, finds out, let's say from LinkedIn, Twitter, who are the other friends of the clinician, and adds them to an gives an influence map. So influencer marketing is what pharma is about, right? Offline CMEs and others are that. Unfortunately, in digital, that has not been streamlined as well. So if you want to have 500 micro influencer physicians being given, identified and giving the channel update in the format they want. There are some who may be active on a particular, I can't name platforms because some of what we are using is advanced. Okay, but you can identify influencers and push material to them. Second use case is you can find where your own physicians who are aligned are already there, who are evangelists of the brand, and help them be evangelists online. Okay. So this is there. So
Wow.
deep profiling is happening in. Okay. We'll go to the third demo, which is about how do you take your phone and run a patient support program. Am I audible?
Yes, Vikram. Yeah.
Okay, great. So so what I'll be doing in this is opening any commonly available Google Assistant, and Amazon has an app where Alexa is there, the mic that is there, and from that run that. Before I discuss that, I want to explain why this is useful. See, a lot of times parents call children and say कि मुझे बताना कि डॉक्टर के टाइमिंग्स क्या हैं, राइट? और फोन कॉल कर रहा हूँ डॉक्टर को, आई एम नॉट एबल टू रीच द रिसेप्शन, नोबडी इज आंसरिंग द फोन ऑन सैटरडे संडे. Second is doctor has written a prescription, okay, which other pharmacy it will be available with, that is near my location. Okay. Third is I want to run a patient support program. डॉक्टर ने जो बोला था मैं भूल गया. Okay. अब आप बताइए that how do I run the please tell me how do I run that patient support program. So this is where I'll be. So this is a normal. I'll switch off from. Yeah, so I think I'll have to unblur my background because
Yes,
it is
yes.
blurring my phone. Okay.
Yeah. Now.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, sure. So this is an Android phone. I hope nothing confidential. Okay. So नहीं Swiggy and ये सभी होंगे. Okay. ये these are apps, Google Assistant, Alexa, Amazon, whatever is there. Okay. We are just. So I'm clicking on the Amazon Alexa. So there are, this is available via the phones and with others. Okay. Just. Yeah. Just 1 second. I'll. Hope audio is available.
Sorry.
You're on mute, Vikram. Please unmute. You are on mute, Vikram. Please unmute.
Vikram,
Yeah, just 1 second. I'm just
Okay.
I'll come to this demo after the ChatGPT. There's a voice issue. I'll shift to Google and run that and test. Okay. So the other demo, I think, is about how do you create a brand plan with ChatGPT. Okay. So here, this is a transformation session in the sense that it's not about me showing you something. It's about each of the attendees being able to see AI in action for themselves. So there is 3 scenarios we'll be taking. Okay. And feel free to use that for yourself. So within that, I'll be sharing a link of ChatGPT. I'm sure a lot of you have experienced it. The intention is, how do you use Chat? For some of the people, they may not have tried it, or they may not have tried it for their others. So I have shared the link. So Dr. Satish or Dr. Swati, can that be shared?
Yes.
Yeah,
Satish, you
this
may be
is there.
receiving the link. Please send it
Yes,
to
yes.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is in the chat box only. So if
Okay.
someone wants to open, yeah, they can open by clicking, and I'll also post it in the WhatsApp group for this event.
We are not getting it in chat, Satish. It is maybe private to you. Yeah, now it is there. Yes. So what do we need to do, Vikram, now? We click on this.
Okay.
Okay.
This is ChatGPT. This is not something that I will do. This is something each of you will do.
Okay.
So we will be wanting to ensure that the first steps, those who have not taken, can take it. Okay. So you will have to have 30 seconds of login. Please click on it, and it will ask for email login. Please just log in. So we'll give.
I have done that, but also Vikram, if you can show live from your screen if you are
I'll
doing
show
it.
it live from my screen also.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yeah.
In my screen, I've already logged in, so I'll be sharing screen.
Okay.
Yeah. So my request to all of you is, please don't take it as another video session. Please just log in. It is a very simple login. When you enter, it will just ask you to create a login, and then you'll encounter a screen like this.
So this is a masterclass. So asking all the students here to please take the class seriously and go and log in and check how it is working for you. And I have done it. It is also asking to verify phone number and all.
Yeah, just quickly do that. Because
if you can write in chat if someone has logged in. I have logged in.
yeah, I think that's good. Please put it in the chat window.
Yeah, you can write yes if you could log it, members.
And in the meantime, Vikram, your screen's again hanging. It has not started sharing. If you can please check it.
Yeah.
On my side, it is there. So I think
Okay. So sorry.
Yeah.
There could be some issue. Okay. People are logging in. We will wait for 1 more minute. Please log in. And write yes in the chat box.
Great, great. Many participants have logged in. Great to see this. Wow.
Yeah.
Now,
Just give 20 seconds more, because if they've not logged in, the intention is to take everybody to the next level.
Yes, Vikram, I understand, because there is a lot of noise. Everyone is talking, but no one is trying actually. So that is also an issue. We are just talking among the ChatGPT, but no one is actually going and creating and having the hands-on experience.
Yeah.
So at least through this session, we can create our login and just try it out. Okay, many people have logged in. Now I think we can go ahead.
Great.
next step.
I am giving the question in the chat window. Okay. Okay, how to design a patient support program for epilepsy patients. I am giving it in the chat also.
We can copy and paste it.
Yeah, you can copy and paste it. I want.
Okay. So we'll copy this and paste it in the ChatGPT window.
Yeah.
In the search bar. That is
in the search
right?
bar. So I think, is it visible? I have just pasted below. How to design a patient support program for epilepsy patients.
Yeah, Vikram, it is visible. Let's go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, please press enter.
An error. Okay.
Okay. So
At my end, it is giving me an answer.
Yeah, it will give an answer unless.
Yeah, I have seen sometimes it gives, when the server is extremely busy, it gives like this.
Yeah. So.
Yes, it's almost similar to what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points I got.
Yeah, think of it as an assistant for you for free. Hiring an assistant will cost.
Yeah. So
writing, we are in a WhatsApp world, so ek do para ke aage, if you have to write more than 1 or 2 paras, it takes.
Okay, someone is asking where to add the question. So there is a box, there is a box at the bottom, you can see.
An arrow of kite, something like that is there in the search. So you can do that, or click on new chat and just type the question, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
On the left side, it is there. New chat. Yeah. Got 8 points. Okay, someone is getting 8 points. Someone is getting 7. Great.
Okay. Any other prompt, Vikram, you want to show us?
First, just go through the points to understand that it is something. If you have got somebody junior to support you, okay, it would have been reasonably sensible. Okay.
Okay, if you are getting error, then if sometimes the server is very busy, then it will give, but you can refresh the page and again do it. So it will give you the result again. Just refresh the page.
I'm giving you a cheating URL for ChatGPT. So
okay,
in the chat window, if for any reason it's not working, only those people try this, because that's
great. We can see that
So it is like an assistant, right? It will help you get the first level. How is this transformation compared to previous? Previously, if you had to make a patient support, you would search on Google, go to 2-3 links, 2-3 pages, click on key attachment hona chahiye, PDF format hona chahiye, download, open and read it. Okay. Or you would have, what would your assistant do? They would go and search on Google and do all of that. So it has removed all that role. It is telling you that this is the step and it's a reasonable structure. And just like anybody supporting you or assisting you, you may need to do minor optimizations, but this is the technology today. So the next level is going to be even more powerful. Okay.
Yes, so, and yeah, sorry to interrupt, Vikram. And I have seen, while I am using it now, I have seen that the more we use it, the better results it starts giving related to that particular topic. when we do more and more searches related to that particular program, I don't know how, but it becomes more refined with the results.
Yeah. Now, I assume everybody is done with the reading. I'll be just going to the next question. Okay, I'm trying to pick use cases and others. See, any habit you develop, it's a free assistant. It will give you version 1, save you that hours of time which each of us is trying to save.
Okay, for someone who has used ChatGPT before, what is the objective? This is just to show you the real demo, right? And for many of us who has not yet experienced how this is going to assist you in your daily work. So please bear with us. If you have already used ChatGPT, you are one of the innovators and early adopters. But we are going through this demo to just show what promises lie in the future. Okay,
Yeah.
The next question you have posted, tell me the list of doctors in India promoting the topic self-monitoring. Okay, let us see the answer to this.
So I'm putting it, and my intention is to ensure you have faith that the tech is coming, and it has come already. So just one second. Let me regenerate the response. Okay. One second. Are some of you getting a response?
Yes, and it's little writing. I'm sorry, I cannot provide that
No,
list.
this is something that's there. Okay. Okay. So I'll just share with you. Yeah, I'm just. Is my screen visible of a screenshot?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think when we tried out, it was able to give this list of doctors. Okay, which is really some of the top people who are there on the web related to self-monitoring of this. Okay. So Indian market, obviously, you'll have to use our profiler, but this is. We'll now go to the third question. So when you search actually for self-monitoring glucose on different channels and collate the information, these are some of the people who will have been most active on it. Okay. And this is, yeah, where I don't mind pitching in for the doctor profiler. Now I'm going to the third question, and I'm sharing this again to everyone. Okay.
Share the window, the other window. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It takes time to get accustomed, but once you are using it, I think it helps you a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like an assistant. I'm not sure what's happening. Okay, but let me just go to the playground, the second window. Let's say.
I'm getting an answer. A phase 3 randomized double-blind placebo.
Yeah, I think too many queries were run. You want to share your screen and show that?
Sure, I'll do that.
Yes, Swati, you can share.
So I'm getting this answer for the question. Here is a list of some of the latest clinical trials on azithromycin.
Right.
I hope it is visible.
Yes, yes, Swati. Good.
This information is current as of 2021. So see the relevancy also. And it is always important to check the status of clinical trials. Additionally, this list is not comprehensive. Nice. You want to give us another question, Vikram? Or we move
I
towards...
just want to correct it. Okay, there was a, I have to click on new chat. Is my screen shared?
Not yet. I'll stop sharing.
Okay.
Now you share, yeah.
So I'm sharing, I think, yeah. So you have to click on new chat and then give that question. So that will come. That's the correct way. I had, I think it's a challenge again. Let me just, so I'm giving the next question. For some reason, it is unhappy with me. Okay. Again, I'm putting in the chat window. Okay.
How to design brand plan for metformin. Okay.
Okay. Design plan.
Let me refresh meanwhile.
So I'm also posting these questions in the WhatsApp group for this event. So yeah.
So is my screen visible?
Yes, yes. Now it is
Designing
coming.
a brand plan for metformin. Okay.
Yeah.
So the tech is there. Okay, it's not about happening in 2025. What's added is simple text, which can put this as different slide headings in a PPT and give it to you. All that is happening. There are armies and armies of companies which are building bots and improving this tech. So there is no alternative on it. And if you read the structure, it's got broadly messaging, positioning, identity, fair kind of version 1 for you to be able to start that off. There are so one last question. Okay, just refreshing screen. I have put it in the window, and
yeah.
This is see, this is a clinical word inhaler. It is finding the relative conditions and giving you an answer which is got some intelligence used. Please feel free to take screenshots and of your own, whatever you have searched, and share it. So that
if you are getting a result, participants, you can share that in the chat box or even in the WhatsApp group. So we'll get an idea that what you are getting, and you are also on the same page. So write in the chat box, how was your experience with ChatGPT, those who tried? Okay, I think there is a download button also. We can download it also from here. Right side, this is this. What is this? Okay.
I think
Okay. So it copies to something where we can also make changes and all those things. I think it is taken to an editable portion where we can edit the content. Wow, great. Okay, nice.
so.
Yeah. What's next, Vikram, for us?
Yeah, I think this is most of the demos. In the Q&A, meanwhile, I'll put in that bot. Otherwise,
okay.
I think
So shall I start with the questions?
Yes.
There are many questions, and you will also need an AI assistant for that. I'll have to go from reverse.
Yeah.
There is a question: will ChatGPT replace jobs? Please, Vikram, since it is concerning ChatGPT, and we just showed the demo, is it going to replace jobs?
Will a car take away jobs of people who are driving auto rickshaws? Okay. Those who don't learn and upgrade, okay, have a risk. Those who learn and upgrade can demand a higher salary. Okay.
Great. Thank you. Okay. Especially for content managers, there's a question: will ChatGPT replace content managers and all those stuff that is coming up?
So it will help you do the version 1. The technology is not fully driverless. So I think there's a quote by OpenAI founder Sam Altman that it's a question of when. So my simple thing is you can do more. Look at it as last year you were able to do 4 SEO pages in a month, for which you paid agencies in lakhs. Okay. Now this year, that 4 you can aim to do 500 pages, for which you may need a $20 subscription, and the agency will just have to review them and upgrade them. So you have an ability to be an AI assisted superpower.
Wow. There are questions related to courses on AI. Vikram, we will have to collaborate and develop courses for our audience today. There are a lot of things coming up related to questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vikram, can I requesting you to put the background also?
Yeah. Sorry.
Is it possible?
Yeah.
Okay. One very interesting question from Mr. Ajay. Can we give the brand name for newly launched brand with the use of help of chat OpenAI?
So that's a good use case. I think the data is 2021 on ChatGPT. ChatSonic is another competitor that uses more recent data, but we'll get back on that. I think within the feedback form that Dr. Satish will be sharing, we'll be sharing the demo links and a free trials for doc SEO for your top doctors or for any pages, and doctor the profiler also. Okay, so in that we can go.
So we are saying, Vikram, that you are going to give free access for few of the people who put in the feedback that they want the demo. So there will be limited seats. So please, requesting everyone who wants to have a trial, please fill in the feedback form. Okay, a lot of questions. One question from Sagar: How can we get the real potential of doctor? The solution is more on social profile. How to get actual prescription potential?
Yeah. So the offline data that a MR gets from a neighboring pharmacy cannot be substituted at this point in time. Okay. But what is happening is the digital footprint is increasing a lot, which means I can get zip code wise sales from online pharmacies, and we integrate it as pharma analytics. When we say, how do you convert non-prescribers to prescribers? Then we look at this information coming in from different sources and cleanup done to that. Okay.
Okay. Another question was about, is AI more relatable for chronic segments? More friendly, user-friendly for chronic segment? Is there anything like that?
No, it is, we are living in a digital world that's moving to a digital AI world. And I'll talk two things. One is, how is the digital world different from the digital AI world? It is very important because the bottleneck is the set of people who are claimed digital but have not moved to digital AI. A digital app, if supposing as a patient, you want to be able to find, discuss your symptoms and get an answer. That's a digital AI world where you can talk. If you have to search on the app and manually find the pages and others, that's a digital world. A digital world is three things: less intelligence, less number of interactions, which means 2 email campaigns in a month. Okay, versus a digital AI world where you are giving a 24/7 intelligent answers in real time to everybody. It's 24/7 and intelligent and real time. So that's the. So, Dr. Sati, did I miss the point in my intention to just move people from a digital mindset to why digital AI mindset?
No, you are clear, Vikram, but I think we need an AI tool to answer questions. There are a lot of questions and comments coming. Thank you for being so interactive with us. I'll take up one question from Ashish Patil. There are some basic problems for using our limited budget for AI, like cost of training for such models, doctors, apart from tier 1 cities. And they are not, the tier 2 and tier 3 cities are not tech savvy. That is the perception. How to tackle this?
Yeah. So wherever you are asking for a separate digital budget or separate AI budget, those projects will fail. I'll repeat it. Wherever you are asking for a separate digital or a separate AI project, that means you are setting up the wrong project. Aap toy try karna cha rahe ho. Where your budget is for how do I drive, this set of physicians, how do I increase prescriptions? Where do I align it to the existing budget heads, right? Or the activities. That is where you are kind of getting the right use case. Okay. So think of what you want it. What is hurting you? Is it, do you want to reach more number of doctors? Do you want to increase prescriptions from a particular doctor? Do you want to make the doctor wow with the conversation? You have budgets for that. Okay.
Thank you. That is a very relevant point, Vikram. The shiny toy wala mindset has to come out. And I think there is something you wanted to talk about mindset. Can you elaborate?
Yeah. So for success in this, 3 things needed: mindset, data set, and tool set. The biggest what is mindset and why is it the biggest problem? Mindset is about believing कि ये चीज मैं कर सकता हूँ and मुझे आज चाहिए. This thing I can do and I need it today to help me. So there is a mindset of that was there कि we don't, digital was not needed, right? So, or AI is not needed. Okay. The intention of this ChatGPT trial was try that out, find somebody who is an expert, can train you in 5-10 minutes, 1 hour, or your activity you're doing today. And that mindset problem will be over. So if you have to send an email, have ChatGPT open in a window, say that I want to send a report to my central team. Okay. This is a format. The more you figure out how to ask and the more detailed your questions are, the better the answers you get. Data set is what Siddharth talked about. Okay. If you are not giving a good input, the output will be wrong. So if you have to run any reach outs, engagements, if your doctor list has incorrect details, that will be a problem. Tool set is what tools do you use? And there are tons of tools. There is a tool for generating a full video from just a text prompt or a full presentation. There's a tool for answering questions. I'll discuss that separately, Dr. Swati, on, but the tool set is there. The problem is the mindset. The problem is making it first attempting and then using it for at least 6 to 10 times before it starts before you see ki, yes, this is helping me. And one other motivating factor, why did I ask to share it, is because your peers need to know that you are one step ahead. So if you are sharing that, yes, on AI, I did a brand plan or this, that helps you. In our company, we have clearly declared everything is AI first, which means if you are creating a communication for the doctors, first try to create it with existing tools and then only try to manually refine it. Don't try to do it from version 1. So the mindset is where we want each of you to go to the next level.
Okay. There was a question, how can we take the training for AI in pharma and how can I help my company with this training? Mr. Ajay, utilize this session also. This is recorded live. So first of all, the mindset thing, I think you're ahead of that. You want to take the training, we'll connect with you for that. How can we take help of AI in oncology product selling and marketing? I think that is a therapy specific and it can be done across therapies, right, Vikram?
Yes. So I can't name clients, but 3 use cases in oncology we are working on. One is related to the pipeline and the newer indications, finding which are the right physicians across oncology who could be proponents or early evangelists or for that. Okay. Second is screenings for early detection. So most of the largest provider hospital chains in had a data using our platform for early detections, which means we replaced IBM Watson, Salesforce at their top installation. So screening is the most important thing. And doing screenings is a very manual, tedious job. Can you do screenings by having a digital biomarker, which is that footprint of digital information about the person that helps you focus screenings on the ones who are at higher risk. So we have a platform that uses public data from Google, etc., and tells you are going to have this many hypertension patients in this zip code. For oncology, you have for this type of cancer, this is likely. So,
wow, prediction. Vikram, we will have to close within the next 2 to 3 minutes now. In case you want to share with us something more or want to give a conclusive message to all who attended today.
Yeah, so AI is there. Some of the people will make it a part of their life and will be the winners. Please integrate it into your activities. Send emails to your team saying, I generated this from AI. So they will come back and that loop starts off. Because they see you as an early adopter and experts, they will direct questions to you and hence you'll be there. So that's there. Thanks a lot. I think thanks to Dr. Satish and Dr. Swati are very clear. They are transforming the industry. Their aim is not just to be a training place. And I think a lot of effort has been done by them for every event to ensure that's a success. Dr. Vivek sir has been again one of the key motivating pillars and founders. I think he has good sessions on PharmaState. Please have a look at them.
Vivek sir, anything you would like to say?
No, he has removed one fear which is there, that will take away jobs of medical reps or brand managers. That is one thing which was spelled out very, very, very clearly. And AI is going to be their assistant. That's, I think, the take-home point, the most powerful take-home point.
Yeah, we need boldness. Why are you leaving 1 lakh non-prescribers? Okay, AI is a tool where you can screen them and say these 5,000 are ones you should target. So we need boldness on AI.
Wow. Thank you, Vivek sir. Thank you, Vikram. And thank you, our dear audience. You have been there with us and you are here with us. We'll keep bringing you more such sessions for your knowledge enhancement and skilling up. We are there to skill up in pharmaceutical industry, help you. And we will also need your feedback. So do not forget to fill the feedback for us. and ask for a free trial from the company. Thank you so much. Signing off today for now, and see you again and again, as we say at PharmaState Academy. Thank you so much.
Yes, so a clear explanation. Thank you, Vikram and Swati and Vik. And the last but not the least, as Swati said, please fill the feedback form. Actually, the offer about which Vikram was saying, that is mentioned in the feedback form itself. So I am posting the feedback form in the chat box. So I'll just request whoever is interested, at least you fill the feedback form. And if you are interested, you can select those offer options in the feedback form itself. And there are two offers. You can select either of them. If you want both of them, you can select both of them. If you want one of them, you can select one of them. And we'll end the session. And what you can do right now, you can click on the link, feedback form link in the chat box, and then you can move out of the meeting while we will wait to close the meeting after some time. So the feedback form link is there in the chat box. You can see we have also posted that in WhatsApp group that was created for this particular event.
Thanking all the dignitaries also. There were many senior leaders who joined us today. Mr. Alhad, Mr. Rajput, and many of them. Hello, sir. Thank you for being here and being with us on this journey for pharma skilling up.
Yeah, so we are ending the session now. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a lovely day ahead.
Yeah, thanks.